All right, now we should have audio. I tried to stream this once, and yeah, goofball. The Ecamm, man, we got to get this fixed. Ecamm Live. Yeah. Anyways, you got to click on it and active every time you close the app and launch it. You got to it's a bug or something. But all right, what's up, guys? David Glenn from the Mix Academy. Super pumped to be with you today. We're going to be taking a look at Above Worship, all things new. I've got a mix open. We'll take questions. We're going to look at the before versus the after. Give a shout out first to the band Above Worship. My man Dominic Jordan, my brother in Christ, he sent me this song, and he actually submitted it for the song contest. He won, and I was a little nervous, if I'm honest, because I felt like, it's not quite ready for mixing yet, but it ended up becoming a blessing in disguise. Forgive me, I'm a little tongue tied here, trying to get back in the swing of this. But let me pull up the live stream. Let's get this pulled open so we can see the comments, and then we're going to hit the before and after. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and play the raw so you can guys hear the breakdown here.
You make all things new. God, you make all things new. You make all things new. God, you make all things new.
Okay, cool. And then here is my mix as I hit all the keys.
You make all things new. God, you make all things new. You make all things new. God, you make.
All right, and now I got the disclaimer, right? The disclaimer of a mixer. That is my mix one, and I've got a vision for this. So, long story short, I pulled up the tracks. I went to go mix it for I recently had a donation-based course, essentially, and this is a song that won that contest. And I went to pull it up to mix it, and I heard some timing issues. I heard the vocal, the acoustics. They're good recordings, good, solid, just clean recordings. Programmed drums with, give a shout out to Drum Sample Shop. You can clearly hear their hard work in these original drum samples. We'll play some of this for you guys. Let's see if it'll play here. Yeah. Dominic said he pulled that into Logic and used their sampler and built the drums for this. And so I went in and did my thing, man. I was like, we need some loops, we need percussion, we need some programming, we need kick, snare. I took and enhanced what he gave, and just all kinds of stuff happening. But the biggest thing that I noticed was editing. There was a lack of editing. We didn't have any editing. And that's 99% of the stuff that gets sent my way as a professional mixer, believe it or not, unedited. And it's just a travesty, man. Back 10, 15, 20 years ago when I was just starting mixing, really, things were coming to me so clean. I wasn't tuning, really. I wasn't editing drums or bass up against the kick. Most of that stuff was taught and learned, and it was done at a high level. And so such a blessing to be able to record from home. But if we're honest, it has created this just whirlwind of files. Like, you never know what you're really going to be sent when you're mixing a record. And that was certainly true here. No slam to Dominic. He's done a great job probably recording from home. It's a clean recording. But some of those things needed to be addressed. And so this is my mix one that you just heard. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go and re-record some guitars. I'm going to stack and do some finger picking acoustics, and we're going to get some different piano parts. I've just emailed Dominic. We're going to talk about maybe collaborating with him, doing some of those videos here on the channel, but then some are going to be, if you notice, when you go to download the free Multitracks, I'm going to present you an offer. You don't have to take it. It is a free mix contest, but I will have another mix contest for customers who purchase the mix breakdown. We're going to go through every track, and they're going to compete for different prizes. They're going to have some other things, and then students will have their own. They'll be in the main mix contest, but they'll also have their own mix contest as well. And you're going to see some of those production videos here, some of them in the course. But with that, it's kind of the longest intro ever. Let's break down some of this. And so a couple of things to look for when you go to mix. When you go to add top end and compress and all of that, a lot of times mistakes with timing, with tuning, you add clarity and depth, and you get things just forward and sounding modern, compressed, all of that. you're gonna notice timing issues more. That's when the mouth noises are gonna come forward, pitch, all kinds of these little details. It illuminates them. It shines a spotlight on them when we mix it to sound big and full for radio. And these are the details that almost everybody misses. And this is probably recording quality first, editing, maybe even, obviously first is a song, the artist, the performance, that stuff, like the foundational. But before mixing is editing, and it gets skipped all the time. So don't skip editing. Let's talk about that. Maybe show off a couple places where we've done some editing. And in fact, I couldn't get the chat to load. We're only hanging out for a little bit today, but let me see if we got any questions, or let's come in here and see if I can get this to load. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we got any. What's up? What's up? Awesome. Gabriel, appreciate you, man. Anybody else? I can now see the chat. And Jackie, hello, hello. Appreciate you guys joining me. And yeah, with that, so let's talk about this. I turned the sound off and then it came on here. There we go. So this song, I wanted to touch on a few things. And one of those things was the kick and bass. So the bass guitar, a clean recording. I'm going to see about adding like an amp tone or something to it. But right here at the intro, if you look, I have committed the timing editing, but this bass right here, it was not there. It was just slightly ahead of the kick drum. And you'll see the kick if we come up here. Yep, right there on the one. And the bass was ahead of it. And what happens is whenever you start pushing hard into, I'm hitting VMR, I've got my bus compression, Goldfoss is a heavy lifter for me, VTM. This stuff is like if that kick hits, but the bass transient, the little boom, the flub of the bass hits before the kick, that's what all this stuff is going to react to on the one of the chorus or when the drums enter. It's not as big of a deal once everything's in, but especially on the one, whenever you're hitting with as much compression and limiting and things as I am to get this to sound finished, that's a problem. And so not editing your tracks is going to cause more issues than you can even foresee just from listening to the demo. Once again, let's hear that demo. Let's back it up here.
You may go.
Okay, and so you can hear the timing of the vocal. Listen again.
Of your hands. You may go.
Right? That's like, oh, it's delayed, it's stuttered. And so if you're competing in the mix contest, I'm giving you the raw files. Now, if you take me up on the course, you'll have the option to choose the edited or the non-edited, and you can do what you want for practice. But if you compete in the mix contest, you're getting the raw files, unedited. You got to edit them, man. That's the first thing I'm going to look for when I'm judging these is, did they take the time and make sure that this is ready? And that's not on me. These are what I was saying. I took the time to edit it. I want to make sure anyone who competes in this particular contest, usually I provide edited. This time I was like, man, we gotta strip it back. So now let's hear, that was the demo. Let's hear my version, back it up a little bit for his vocal timing.
God had a plan, so I'll trust the works of your hands. You make all things new. God, you make
Yeah, man, night and day. One more time, hear that.
God had a plan, so I'll trust the works of your hands. You make all things.
And it just loses its impact, right? It loses its groove when things are going in and out of each other. And so point number one, check the kick and the bass. You're going to definitely want to check the acoustic guitar. The electric guitar was pretty good, but the vocal timing, vocal pitch. Now, there's also, I'll show you, actually I can show you in this section. I recorded some harmonies. I'll show you. We'll mute my harmony. No, I'm just kidding. We'll play them, but let's come out here where you can really hear the timing issues. Let's back it up a little bit right here.
God, you make all things new.
Yeah, so like right in here, you can hear things are rushing. And so just slightly pulling them back. If you're tight on time, at the very least, you need to take the stabs in the ones and the impact hits. Make sure those are all tight. If you got a little bit, I say you should edit the whole thing. The swing of the acoustic guitar needed adjusting, the vocal needed adjusting. But again, that's part of the challenge with this one. So that was the swing there from the before. Let's hear the mixed version.
God, you make all things new. God, you make. God, you make. God, you make all. You make all things new. God, you make all things new.
Right on. So editing the bass, the acoustic, the lead vocal. What else do we want to talk about? Anybody live? You got some questions? I just want to kind of break the ice and go live and get my voice on camera, my face on camera here. Talking about this, we're going to go, let's see, what was something else interesting in this one? Let's talk about, I've got notes. Let's pull those up. So we've got, So timing, pitch, tuning. Let's talk about arrangement. Okay, so the arrangement came to us. You'll look like the acoustic guitars here. The bass was all at the beginning. The whole song, guitars, bass, everything played from start to finish for the most part. And I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to do some production and kind of build a new version of this. But this is my version with just the shakers and tambourines and some harmonies added. We're going to go and get some programming, do some loops, some beat production maybe, and see what we can do to make this one really hit for radio. But you can see here, arrangement, if you just take the raw tracks, the bass is in at the beginning, the acoustic's in at the beginning, the piano, everything is just in. Take a listen to this at the beginning. We'll just listen to this first section.
Before I could see it, you were there fighting for me. Before I believed in you, God, you believed in me. When I had a problem, God had a plan. So I'll trust the works of your hands. You make all things.
Okay, so now let's come over here and hear the arrangement as is. We'll do some more. I want to hear some like some loop or something in here, but for now, this is what we got.
Before I could see it, you were there fighting for me. Before I believed in you, God, you believed in me. When I had a problem, God had a plan. So I'll trust the works of your hands. You make all things new. God, you make all things.
Cool. Now I left the first chorus lead vocal only. We'll come back to that. But the acoustic, you can see it comes in that B section beautifully. Just kind of.
When I had a problem.
So now we're building it like a house. We're not just everything playing the whole time. And that adds dynamics. It adds, it caters to the emotion of the song, and it helps it kind of flow a little bit better. So bass comes in with the drums now. That's gone. Acoustic comes in there. And then what I did is I mixed the acoustic 3 different ways. I mixed the acoustic for that intro. Then I mixed the same acoustic, broke it onto its own track, and treated it for the hook. And then I treated it for the verse strums. And the reason why is because each section has its own sound, really. It has its own energy. And by putting the acoustic on these individual tracks, it allows me to process them to fit that section. The hook really being that thin, strummy thing, and giving it a stereo element. Cool. So again, we're making do with what we got. That wasn't recorded that way, but we created a stereo-ish guitar from the mono single guitar that we were given. But then the verse, I felt like it needed to warm up, shrink a little bit, and be quieter. Some different processing here. Let's hear it coming out of maybe the hook acoustic. Yeah, so we warmed that up. We gave it its own kind of vibe depending upon the section. That's another thing that we did. I wanted to talk just a second ago. I mentioned about the vocal. So what I did is I had the the first chorus be the lead vocal and I did the same thing with the lead vocal. We got the lead vocal in the intro and the soft section with less modulation effects, a little tighter, still pretty big sounding, radio, pop kind of vibe. But for the verse and the other sections, I put the vocal on its own track. Different tracks for the different sections. And then what I did is I created hook doubles. I went to the second chorus. It turns out that Dominic, when he sang this, I'm pretty sure it was Dominic that sang it, what he did is he went all the way through the song. And so we have multiple choruses. So what I did is I went to the other choruses and pulled in doubles to create stacks so that it had a little more vocal production, and it was produced to have doubles, triples, and then I created some fake ones as well. So we've got fake double stacking happening. We have the real stuff that I copy and pasted. And then you'll see this section here. I'm going to put myself on the spot. I haven't used Automate yet, but I'm going to replace my voice. This is me singing harmonies not very well, very quickly through this $40 mic, just making something happen quickly. But the song right in here didn't have anything.
All things new. God, you make all things new. You make all.
Okay, and then I put these back in, and we've got a little bit. Oh no, I took them out for the first section. So those actually come in here. And so now, I don't want to solo these. They're going to sound ridiculous. Bear with me, but just for example's sake of what you could do if you're recording harmonies.
You make all things new.
And then I also edited out all the S's. I auto-align these. Not auto-align. Vocaline. Vocaline 6 Pro. Tighten those up with the lead. Let's hear them together.
You make all things new. God, you make all things new. You make all things.
So that's me adding harmonies for the second chorus just to kind of pick it up a notch. And then I added harmonies for the bridge and the final chorus a little more. And so there's not a soprano part, but a higher part that stacks on top of it. I mixed a lot of gospel. So you got the tenor, alto, soprano, tenor 1, tenor 2, all that stuff. And here I was just trying to mimic that thickness to give us something a little fuller. Here's the chorus, or the bridge.
God, you make. God, you make. God, you make all things new.
Cool. And I'm not a singer. This is me just like heavy auto-tune, making it happen. If I were doing this, to really go all out, I would probably, it sounds pretty good, but I would be a little more intentional. It wouldn't have been like a last minute as a mixer, let me throw a mic in front of me and add to this song, but having some fun with it, producing it in the box. Then these stacks come in, it adds a high part. This is fun.
God, you make. God, you make. God, you make all. You make all things new. God, you make all things new.
Yeah, there's some clicking and popping or something going on in there. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so I just felt like, man, it was just Dominic alone. He was hung out to dry. We needed to hook him up. We got fake doubles. We've got real harmonies, real doubles, stacks, all kinds of stuff happening. And yeah, so what else do we want to talk about? Any questions about this one so far in the comments? We got Jackie said yes, and oh, I love the delay. I appreciate that. I spent a lot of time on that delay, that intro. If that's the one you're talking about, I spent a lot of time on that one. The first two, let's hear the intro again, because I was proud of those. I messaged my man Joey Fernandez, Grammy-winning mastering engineer, one of my best friends. I was like, bro, check this out. And showed him the delay throw.
Before I could see it, you were there fighting for me. Before I believed in you, God, you believed in me. When I had a problem, God had a plan. So I'll trust the weeks of.
So again, we've got work to do on this one, but if you'll listen, you'll hear his breaths are in time. and they come in, they come out in time. There's nothing that should be taking away from the emotion of the song, right? And so you'll even hear, I think I've got a breath where I've copy and pasted a different breath. Yeah, down here for the first chorus, because I wanted it to have no effects really. And then I wanted it to be perfect, almost like a percussive element, his breath here. Check this out.
I'll just the looks of your hands. You make all things.
Yeah, and if I take it out,
I'll just the looks of your hands. You make all things.
it's totally fine. It gives a space there, but one more time with it.
I'll just the looks of your hands. You make all things.
So just something I heard, little thing in there, just little details, man. So appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm just gonna go off camera now, off stream, and record some videos for this course. And I've got a new one that I'm working on for you guys on the channel that's not a live stream, but I was just struggling to get on and talk, slurring my speech and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to hope that you gain something from this. If you want to join the mix contest, check out those links down in the description. There will be absolutely no need to email me your mix. Let me make that. How you submit your mix is going to be provided to you once you join and you download the. Let me start over there. It's free to join. Once you put your email in, you're going to be sent a link, and it's going to take you to a page with all the contest details. You're going to get the before and the after. You can reference my mix if you like it. You're going to get the raw downloadable files. You're going to get instructions on how to upload. I set up a Dropbox request folder, so you can just click that link I provided on that page. You're going to be able to upload your mix. And then if you, because the deadline is not until the 12th, if you want to do a version 2, version 3, you listen back, you're like, man, I really want to win those Slate VSX headphones. You can submit V1, V2, V3, just label it as I tell you in the instructions page. I'm doing this alone, so it would be a huge help if you would make sure you label things the way I've set that up, and you'll be considered for the contest. So with that, let's see if there's anyone who was hanging out that had any questions. Let's see what's up. Kevin, good to see you back. Appreciate you, man. Jackie said, have you ever tried Melodyne for breaths? You can see them and just lower. Actually, Jackie, I love Melodyne, but I hate it for breaths because I don't like that the response I like clip gain. The GUI responds visible. I feel like if I want to raise or lower something, when I do it in clip gain, I know what's happening. With Melodyne, I feel like I'm guessing and I have to play it back and listen. With clip gain, I can nail that a little closer, but it is an incredible tool for editing as well. So great stuff there. Jackie, I appreciate you hanging out. That's been fun. Kevin, good to see you. Jason, what's up, man? Gabriel again, as always. There was one more thing before I let you guys go that I wanted to show. Yes, I added shakers. We're going to add more production, but shakers, tambourine, selective, got those edited nice and tight. What else are we? The lead vocal had auto-tune on it coming to us. And so there's a couple little blips here and there. I think that section actually, God, you made all things new. Is that right here? Let's come to the raw files and then the raw vocal.
New. God, you make all things new. You make, God, you make, God, you make, God, you make all things new.
Tell you what, it may not be auto-tune. It just has that little bit. When I compressed it, it felt like there was some auto-tune. I think there was some auto-tune artifacts, a couple blips here and there. I'm calling them, what is a blip? B-L-I-P? That's what I'm calling that. And I had to Melodyne his vocal, and it wasn't perfect, but it was better. I, cut, separate, and then just kind of get to work and make it happen in Melodyne. You'll see all that inside the full course too. But man, you guys rock. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you're watching this back and you want to download mixes for yourself, go ahead, check it out. Link in the description. Also pin a comment for you to get your hands on it. The mix breakdown videos are way more concise and clear than this. This is me going live, just try to hang out with you guys and show my face again after suffering another setback with my health. But feeling pretty good. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to go ahead and end it. No questions or comments, but look forward to seeing you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon.